that Yahushua is the master to the Lord our Yahweh. Yahudi, you don't believe in Yahushua. Yahudi, you don't believe in Yahushua. He's the mighty one that died on the stage. He's the mighty one Yahweh sent to save.
Right there.
Yeah.
Little burning.
The talent, the Zohar, and the power can't take its place. Yes, the day will come. You will say, Baruch, Haba, Bashir, Yahweh. Every knee is gonna bow, and every tongue confess that Yahushua is the master. Lord, Yahweh, Yahweh. Ephraim, we only come back to Torah. Ephraim, we only come back to Torah. I noticed it's haunted by a different name. And the house full of idols. And the old change. Change my room, change my bed, and my appointed time. But don't you know, Ephraim, you're the little mine. And every knee is gonna bow, and every tongue confess that Yahushua is the master. To the Lord our Yahweh.
That's what we're looking for. Nice smell. A sweet smelling off savor.
To the death. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of their testimony. Not loving their lives into the death. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of their testimony.
Not living their lives
to the death. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, I'm the Israelite in his house. Say it now, I'm the Israelite overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word, their testimony. Not loving their lives unto the death. Say it now. I'm a Israelite in his house. Say it now. I'm a Israelite in his house. Say it now. I'm a Israelite in his house. Say it now. Overcame him by the blood.
Bikkurim Sameach. Bikkurim Sameach. Hand me that remote for the, yeah, thank you. How y'all doing today? Honky dory, Baruch Hashem. It is the feast of First Fruits, the 26th of Aviv. And we welcome you to beautiful Goshen B'Tzafon. Where are we? Oh, we're in Baker County, Florida. And we're going to begin today's short but festive moments by turning to page 34 in your Sidurim. Page 34 in your Sidurim. And of course, last Yom Echad, the 19th of Aviv, we celebrated Yeshua's resurrection and the resurrection of the First Fruit Company. Today we celebrate the First Fruit Company, the 144,000, being presented in heaven to the Father by Yeshua, our high priest.
Hoy
So-
estamos celebrando las primicias que se presentan a nuestro Abba por Yahshua HaMashiach, el Kohen HaGadol.
So what happened on this day?
Así que, ¿qué pasó en este yom?
The First Fruit Company
El grupo de primicias
rose
se levantó
and ascended
y ascendió
to the Father
al Abba
as they were, make the headset a little lower, as they were, and check the sound, as they were presented
al ser presentados
to Abba
al Abba
through the high
a
priest,
través del sumo ministro,
Darche Malkitzedek,
Darjei
in the
Melquitzedek,
order of Melchizedek.
la orden de Melquitzedek.
Is that the green light flashing? Yes?
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay. So the first fruits were presented,
Así que las primicias fueron presentadas
and we learned yesterday
y aprendimos ayer
that they rose when?
que se levantaron cuando,
After Yeshua,
después de que Yahshua,
in order, first Mashiach, then the first fruits.
después de que Yahshua resucitara en su orden,
But what I failed to tell you, because I was on overload.
pero lo que fallé decirles, ya que se me
I had
olvidó,
too many visitors yesterday.
tenía demasiadas visitas,
Too many things.
demasiadas cosas,
So I was on overload and I forgot.
estaba sobrecargado y se me olvidó
But I forgot something that's very important.
algo muy importante,
That before they were ascended, see, Yeshua ascended after 40 days.
que antes de que ascendieran y ven que Yahshua ascendió después de 40 días, Yamim,
But the 144,000
pero los 144,000
ascended today.
ascendieron hoy
And they were presented before the
y
Father
fueron presentados delante del Abba,
while Yeshua was still on earth.
mientras que Yahshua todavía estaba en la tierra.
Was Yeshua on earth today?
¿Estaba Yahshua en la tierra hoy?
Yes, it was 1 week. The counting of the Omer starts, it was 1 week after the resurrection.
Fue una semana después de la resurrección.
So he was there to present Abba
Así que él estaba ahí para presentar al
with the
Abba,
144,000.
presentarle a los 144,000,
So that the high priest
para que el sumo ministro
and the
y
144,000
los 144,000
were still on earth.
todavía estaban en la tierra.
But on this day, they were presented to the Father,
Pero en este día fueron presentados al Abba
and they went to the heavenly Mount Zion.
y fueron al monte Sion firmamental.
But what I neglected to say
Pero lo que me fallé en decirles
was yesterday when we were celebrating Shabbat.
es que ayer mientras que celebrábamos Shabbat,
Can you just do a quick sound check, please? I'll go slow. Was that they started appearing in Yerushalayim
fue que comenzaron a aparecer en Jerusalén
on the 19th.
el 19.
For how many days?
¿Por cuántos días?
Yes.
Por 7.
But what I wanted to point out,
Pero lo que les quería señalar,
that yesterday,
que ayer,
being Torah obedient,
siendo obedientes a Torah,
following the Lamb
siguiendo al Cordero,
wherever he goes,
a donde quiera que Él va,
don't forget the slide if you need to adjust the slide, okay? Was Shabbat.
fue Shabbat.
So what did the 144,000 do yesterday?
Así que, ¿qué hicieron los 144,000?
They took Shabbat.
Descansaron.
Isn't that beautiful?
¿Que no es eso precioso?
They were not running around appearing.
No andaban corriendo apareciéndose.
They rested.
Descansaron. Aleluya.
That was the Shabbat
Ese fue el Shabbat
of the Bikkurim.
de los Bikkurim.
The prior Shabbat
El Shabbat anterior
of life,
de la Jaim, de la vida,
Chai,
Jai,
we see that here,
y esto lo vemos aquí,
the 18th.
en el 18.
Who rested on that day?
¿Quién descansó en ese yom?
The Bikkur.
El Bikkur, Yahushua.
The Bikkur.
El Bikkur.
The first fruit,
El fruto,
singular.
singular.
But I failed to point out, and I'm taking this opportunity today on the 26th of Aviv, Yom HaBikkurim,
Fallé en señalarles, pero estoy tomando esta chance, ya que ayer no lo hice y hacerlo hoy en Bikkurim,
to remind you
para recordarles
that even though they were being perfected and prepared to be presented to the Abba on this day,
que aunque estaban siendo perfeccionados y preparados para ser presentados delante del Abba en este yom, este día,
that yesterday
que ayer
rested.
descansaron.
It was Shabbat.
Fue Shabbat.
Isn't that neat? So not only did Moshiach go first, he rested first.
Así que no
Look, look,
solamente-
look! Pay the attention!
Fue el
Pay the
primero, pero
attention!
él descansó primero. Pongan
See,
atención.
Mashiach
Mashiach
rested
descansó
on his Shabbat.
en su Shabbat
And then he came out
y luego vino
the next day on the 19th.
al próximo yom el 19.
Okay? But in order,
Pero en orden.
1 Corinthians 15, in order,
Primera de Corintios 15 en orden.
the Bikkurim, the 144,000 company,
El grupo de los Bikkurim de los 144,000
rested right here.
descansaron aquí.
So the
Fue el 25 de abril,
the Bikkur
el 25th of April.
and the Bikkurim
Así que el Bikkur y los Bikkurim,
each had their own Shabbat.
cada quien tenía su propio Shabbat.
Isn't that beautiful?
Que no es eso precioso.
They each had their own Shabbat.
Cada uno tenía su propio Shabbat.
Baruch Hashem.
Hashem Yahuwah.
And they each have their own Yom Echad.
Y cada uno tenía su propio Yom Echad.
Even though they both rose on the same day.
Aunque los dos se levantaron en el mismo Yom,
It was decently and in order.
fue decentemente y en orden.
And Yeshua
Y Yahushua
humbled himself
se humilló a sí mismo
and stayed on the earth
y se quedó aquí en la tierra
to teach the Talmidim
para enseñarles a los Talmidim
for 40 days.
por 40 años.
And then he
Y
ascended
luego él ascendió
and presented
y
himself
se presentó a sí mismo
to the Father
al Abba
as the high priest.
como el sumo ministro.
But one of the reasons Yeshua stayed on earth
Pero una de las razones que Yahshua se quedó aquí en la tierra
for 40 days
por 40 años
and didn't ascend
y no ascendió
before the Bikkurim
antes de los Bikkurim
is because
es porque
he had a job to do.
él tenía un trabajo que hacer.
Today,
Hoy,
on the 26th.
en el 26,
Hello? What was his job?
¿cuál era su trabajo?
To present
Presentar
the ones who kept Shabbat
a los
yesterday
que guardaron el Shabbat ayer
to the Father
alaba, presentarlos alaba,
while he was still on earth,
mientras que todavía estaba en la tierra,
before
antes
he himself
de
ascended
que él mismo ascendiera,
40 days later.
40 yamim después.
Now, we used to teach that Yeshua ascended on the 40th day of the Omer because we used to believe that the 16th of Aviv began the counting of the Omer.
Antes enseñábamos que
No? Not at all. Would you try to recollect? We'll wait.
you said that we would wait to do the counting of the Omer. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
So, in the old days,
Así que en los tiempos anteriores
we would begin to count the Omer on the 16th,
comenzábamos a contar el Omer en el 16,
the day after the annual Shabbat.
el yom después del Shabbat anual.
And we said, okay, so Yeshua ascended on the 40th day of the Omer.
Y habíamos dicho que Yeshua ascendió en el yom 40 del Omer.
Incorrect.
Incorrecto.
Because now we know the Omer count doesn't start until
Pero
today.
hoy sabemos que la cuenta del Omer no comienza sino hasta hoy.
He was on the earth for 40
Él estuvo
days.
en la tierra por 40 días.
From what day?
¿Desde qué fecha?
From the 19th.
Desde el 19.
Ah. So beginning on the 19th,
Así que comenzando en el 19,
when the Bikkur and the Bikkurim rose,
cuando el Bikkur y los Bikkurim se levantaron,
he was on the earth
él estuvo en la tierra
40 days.
40 días.
But we don't start counting the 40
Pero
days
no comenzamos a contar los 40 yamim
here.
aquí.
Hello? It didn't say 40 days of the counting of the Omer.
Él no dijo por 40 días de la cuenta del Omer.
It said 40 days, period.
Él dijo 40 días y punto.
So the 40 days begin here,
Así que los 40 días comienzan acá,
which would be interesting.
lo cual debería de ser
Because if the
interesante.
counting of the Omer begins here,
Porque si la cuenta del Omer comienza
Today,
aquí, hoy,
what was last week?
que fue la semana pasada,
7 days,
7 días,
right? 7 days earlier.
7 días anteriores,
Let's redo the math here.
43,
So he probably ascended
Yom 43 of Yom.
on the 43rd day
Quizás él ascendió en el Yom 43 del Omer,
of the counting of the Omer.
de la cuenta del
Isn't
Omer.
that interesting?
Que no es eso interesante,
Because he rose right here.
porque él se levantó aquí
And we got to count these 7
y
days.
tenemos que contar estos 7 yamim.
But the counting of the Omer doesn't start till when?
Pero la cuenta del Omer no comienza hasta cuándo,
Till today.
hasta hoy, a week later.
Right. So from
Una
here
semana después.
from here to Shavuot
Así que de aquí a Shavuot
is 50 days.
son 50 yamim,
Minus what?
menos que
7.
menos 7.
Okay, boys and girls, what's 50 minus
¿Qué es
7?
50
Kara,
menos
what's
7?
50 minus 7?
¿Qué es 50 menos 7?
Hadassah, what's 50 minus
¿Qué
7?
es 50 menos 7?
Yeah. Who said 43? Brilliant. So he probably ascended
Así que quizás él ascendió
on the 43rd day
en el Yom 43
of the counting of the
de
Omer.
la cuenta del Omer.
Isn't it interesting?
Que no es interesante.
When did the 144,000 First Fruit Company ascend?
Cuando ascendieron el grupo de los 144,000 Bikkurim
Right here.
acá,
Today.
en Yom 1.
Yeshua had to stay on earth
Yeshua tuvo que continuar aquí en la tierra,
not only to prepare the Bikkurim,
no solo para preparar a los Bikkurim,
but to prepare himself
pero para prepararse a sí mismo,
as the Kohen Hagadol
como el Kohen Hagadol,
to receive
para recibir
the 144,000 company.
al grupo de los 144,000.
He took 7 days
Él se llevó a 7 yamim,
while he was working in their hearts and in their minds.
mientras que estaba trabajando en sus mentes y en sus
He
corazones.
gave them a 7th day Shabbat, which was yesterday, to
Él les
rest.
dio-
What did the 144,000 do yesterday?
Él les dio descanso a ellos. ¿Qué hicieron ellos ayer?
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
They had their own Shabbat.
Tuvieron su propio Shabbat.
But the week
Pero
before
la semana antes
was the Shabbat of Chai,
fue el Shabbat de la Chai.
life.
Vida.
Life comes,
Llega la vida
and then the first fruit.
y luego los primeros frutos.
No life,
Si no hay vida,
no first fruit.
no hay primeros frutos.
So notice I failed to mention because of overload yesterday with guests and trying to put on a good show.
Así que noté que esto se me olvidó explicar.
Today I'm catching up.
Porque estaba distraído con todo lo que estaba pasando.
So I forgot to mention yesterday because my brain was on overload.
Así que se me olvidó mencionarlo ayer, ya que estaba distraído.
That these brethren
Que estos fraternos
actually rested on Shabbat.
en realidad descansaron el Shabbat.
They weren't under construction.
No estaban bajo construcción.
Because if they follow the Lamb wherever he goes and they're getting ready to be the Bikkurim, wouldn't it make sense that they rested?
Porque si siguen al Cordero a donde quiera que vaya y se estaban preparando para ser los Bikkurim presentados, que no da sentido que
I
descansaron.
mean, nobody here believes they went to church, right?
Nadie aquí cree que se fueron a la iglesia, ¿o sí?
The church of the rest. They went to the church of the rest, Shabbat.
Se fueron a la iglesia.
But when you
del
think about it,
descanso,
it's a
Shabbat.
beautiful thing.
Pero cuando uno medita en esto es una cosa
It's a
preciosa.
beautiful thing.
Es una cosa
The way
preciosa.
Yahuwah laid this all out.
La manera en que Yahuwah organizó todo esto.
Now, I'm going to approach this from two ways just so that we don't get any nasty emails.
Y voy a hablar de esto de dos maneras para que no nos envíen mensajes feos.
If today,
Si hoy
the 144,000 company
el grupo de 144,000
was presented to the
fue
Father,
presentado al Abba
they most likely ascended
por la mayor probabilidad es que ascendieron
43 days
43 días
ahead of Yeshua.
antes de Yeshua.
But there's a second
Pero
possibility.
hay una segunda posibilidad.
If they follow the Lamb wherever he goes,
Si ellos siguen al Cordero a donde quiera que Él va,
and if the Lamb ascended on day 43 of the counting of the Omer,
y si el Cordero ascendió en el Yom 43 de la cuenta del Omer,
and if Yahuwah keeps the order of resurrection,
y si Yahuwah guarda la orden de la resurrección,
Yeshua and the company both rose on the 19th,
Yeshua y el grupo ambos resucitaron el 19,
but in order.
pero en su orden.
The company was after the Bikkur.
El grupo le siguió al Bikkur, al fruto.
Can we assume
¿Podemos asumir
that they ascended
que ascendieron
in the same order?
en la misma orden?
Possibly.
Quizás.
So I present you two possibilities.
Así que les presento dos posibilidades.
Today, Yeshua stayed on earth, and at the first day of the counting of the Omer, he presented the 144,000 company and kept them around, and they ascended together, just like they rose on the same day, they ascended on the same day. Or it's possible that he let them ascend today after they were presented to the Father.
Así que dos posibilidades. O los presentó hoy al
No sé.
Abba, eso es definitivo, pero quizás ellos lo seguían a donde quiera que él vaya, a donde quiera que él fuera, y quizás permanecieron con él aquí en la tierra por
No
los
sé.
40 días que él estuvo aquí, o quizás una vez que los presentó se quedaron ahí en la presencia del Abba y él siguió aquí en la tierra haciendo sus deberes.
We can debate it.
No sabemos, lo podríamos debatir.
But the more I think about it,
Pero por más que lo medito,
from the time I started opening my mouth
desde el momento que comencé a abrir mi boca
until this moment,
hasta este momento,
I think I changed my mind.
creo que he cambiado de parecer.
Because if he keeps the order of the resurrection,
Porque si él guarda la orden de la resurrección,
first the Bikkur,
primero el fruto,
then the Bikkurim,
luego los frutos,
maybe he kept that same order
quizás mantuvo esa misma
in
orden.
the ascension.
En la ascensión,
They both ascended.
los dos ascendieron.
Because I remember in Revelation it says they follow the Lamb wherever he goes.
Porque me acuerdo que en Revelación dice que siguen al Cordero a donde quiera que él va.
And not only that,
Y no solo eso.
by keeping the Bikkurim around for 43 days of the counting of the Omer,
Al preservar con él a los Bikkurim, a los primeros frutos, con él a donde quiera que vaya hasta hasta la culminación de la cuenta de El Omer,
just like in the Great Tribulation,
así como en la gran tribulación,
the 144,000
los 144,000
go before the Lamb
van delante del
and
Cordero
proclaim the Lamb.
y proclaman al Cordero.
It's very possible that wherever Yeshua appeared for 43 days, part of the class, part of the discipleship that was going on included the First Fruit Company that rose on the same day.
Es muy posible que a donde quiera que él
It's
iba,
possible.
iban con él el grupo que resucitó con él en el mismo Yom, y es muy posible eso.
Because if Yeshua was teaching Israel
Porque si Yeshua estuviera enseñándole a Israel
for 40 days,
por 40 días, Yamim,
correct?
¿sí?
He was teaching.
Estaba enseñando.
It would make sense that the First Fruit Company
Sería entendible que ese primer grupo de primicias
were also receiving
igual estaban recibiendo
teaching from Yeshua.
enseñanza de
Because
Yeshua.
Revelation, we'll see that today,
Porque Revelación la veremos hoy.
says that they follow the Lamb
Dice que ellos siguen al Cordero
wherever he goes.
a donde quiera que él va.
So if they both rose on the 19th,
Así que si ambos resucitaron el 19,
they both celebrated Shabbat yesterday,
los dos celebraron el Shabbat ayer.
even though it was the Shabbat honoring the Bikkurim.
Aunque era el Shabbat que estimó a los Bikkurim.
He presents them to the Abba today. The barley sheaf was a type
Los presenta al Abba hoy. La gavilla de la cebada es un tipo
of the Bikkurim,
de los primeros frutos o primicias,
and they follow the Lamb.
y ellos siguen al Cordero.
You see the order?
Ven la orden.
They follow the Lamb.
Ellos siguen al Cordero.
See that?
¿Ven?
Religion's got this all messed
La
up.
religión tiene todo esto.
First
fuera de
comes the
orden.
Lamb in the preeminence.
Primero viene el Cordero en su preeminencia.
Then they follow the Lamb.
Luego ellos siguen al Cordero.
So he's on earth
Así que él está en la tierra
for 40 days.
por 40 días. Yamim,
From the 19th,
desde el 19.
we count how many days?
19 de Aviv. ¿Y contamos cuántos días?
40.
40.
But the Omer count begins here.
Pero la cuenta del Omer comienza aquí.
So,
el
if-
26 de Aviv.
Since they both rose the same day
Ya que los dos resucitaron el mismo
and
Yom.
appeared to many in
Y
Yerushalayim,
se le aparecieron a muchos en Jerusalén.
I believe it's safe to say
Yo creo que es digno decir
that they were together
que estaban juntos
for 40 days
por 40 días
and then they ascended together.
y que ascendieron juntos.
I think it's safe to say.
Yo creo es probable decir eso.
Can I get a witness? Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. But I want to point out again
Pero quiero señalar de nuevo
that the Shabbat of the Bikkur,
que el Shabbat del Bikkur, de la primicia, el primer fruto,
the Chaim, Shabbat of Chai,
que es el 18,
in order,
en su orden,
preceded our Shabbat.
fue antes de nuestro Shabbat.
Yesterday was the celebration
Ayer fue la celebración
of the Shabbat
del Shabbat,
of the Bikurim.
de los Bikurim.
Today we appear here voluntarily.
Hoy nos aparecemos
We don't
aquí
have to. We don't have to.
voluntariamente.
Nobody made us.
Nadie nos obligó, no tenemos que hacerlo, llegamos de nuestra propia cuenta.
Because today is the day
Porque hoy es el Yom,
where Yeshua the Kohen Hagadol
cuando Yeshua, el sumo ministro, Kohen Hagadol,
presents us
nos presenta
to the Father.
al Abba.
And it is of necessity
Y es necesario
that we all gather
que
together
todos nos reunamos
in an assembly
en una asamblea
to be presented to the Father.
para ser presentados al Abba.
Because you'll notice that out of the 144,000 First Fruit Company,
Porque notarán de que del grupo de los 144,000,
we don't have 5,000 at the First Baptist Church of Dallas,
no tenemos a 5,000 en la primera iglesia bautista de Dallas,
5,000 in Cornerstone Church in San Antonio,
ni 5,000 en la iglesia
3,000 at the Worldwide Church of Gold.
de la Piedra de la Esquina en San Antonio y 3,000 en la Iglesia Mundial de Dios.
No.
No,
The First Fruit Company
el grupo de primicias
was all together.
estaban todos juntos.
You see why it's tov
y ven por qué es todo.
to have an assembly.
Tener una asamblea.
Do you know this is not a Shabbat?
Saben que hoy no es un Shabbat.
Right after this service, you can go out and buy lunch.
Después de este servicio ustedes pueden ir a comprarse un almuerzo.
Right after service, you can trade in your guns for cash.
Hoy después del servicio pueden ir a cambiar sus pistolas por dinero.
Right after lunch, you can go to Tennessee and get some chewing tobacco
Después de su almuerzo pueden ir a Tennessee y conseguirse tabaco para
and pay the
mascar
tolls to get there.
y pagar las cuotas que se requieren para llegar ahí.
It's not a Shabbat.
No es un Shabbat,
You're free.
son libres.
It's not even a Mikra
Ni
Kodesh.
siquiera es una Mikra Kodesh.
All the Israelites would bring their barley
Todos los israelitas que traían su cebada, aleluya,
and they would meet
y se encontraban
at the feet
ahí a los pies
of the high priest.
del sumo ministro.
I wouldn't see you.
Yo no los vería,
You wouldn't see me
ustedes no me verían a mí,
because there was no Mikra Kodesh
porque no había Mikra Kodesh.
unless we met
Solo que nos encontráramos
voluntarily
voluntariamente
at the feet
a los pies
of the high priest.
del sumo ministro.
Why are we here today?
¿Por qué estamos aquí hoy? Pues we
We're
can
meeting at the feet
get to. Porque estamos encontrándonos a los pies
of the high priest.
del sumo ministro.
It is Yeshua
Es Yahshua
who brings us together
que nos reúne
to present us to the Father
para presentarnos al Abba
as the continuation,
como la continuación,
as the outgrowth
como la adición
of the First Fruit Company.
del grupo de primicias.
You know, we're not the First Fruit Company.
Saben que nosotros no somos el grupo de primicias original.
Who are the First Fruit Company?
¿Quiénes son ese grupo original? Iyov-Job.
The ones who rose
Los que resucitaron
on the 19th.
el 19.
We'll never be the First Fruit Company.
Nosotros nunca seremos ese grupo original.
But like we were reading yesterday in Santiago,
Pero como estábamos leyendo
let's go to
ayer
Chile right now.
en el libro de
Or after
Jacob,
service we can go to Chile,
comúnmente conocido en español como Santiago.
since it's not a Shabbat. How many eating chilies? Huh? Nobody here eats chilies? Boy, no wonder you guys are so healthy. Yaakov, let me rephrase the question. If you could afford to eat chilies, would you be there? James 1, well, at least you're honest. James 1:18.
Jacob 1:18.
Of his own will he brought us forth with the Torah of Emet, that we should be part of the Bikkurim of his recreation. So we're not the company, we join the company. So let's get all this straight. The church says, we had your first fruits, ate your first fruits. Nobody knows who the first fruits are.
Nadie sabe quiénes son las primicias.
Answer. No one's first
Respuesta,
fruits.
Nadie.
No one is first fruits
Nadie
company.
es parte del grupo original de las primicias.
The first fruit company rose with Yeshua.
El grupo original se levantó con Yahshua.
So who are we?
Entonces, ¿quiénes somos nosotros?
We're the first fruits.
Nosotros somos los primeros frutos
Joined.
que se unen,
Like non-Jews
así como los que no son judíos,
join the olive tree.
se unen al árbol del olivo.
They're grafted into the olive tree.
Son injertados al olivo.
Those who were not part of the original
Los que no eran parte del original,
first fruit company
del grupo original,
are grafted in
son injertados
to the first fruits.
a las primicias.
Isn't that beautiful?
¿Que no es eso precioso?
Isn't that beautiful?
¿Que no es eso precioso?
Baruch Hashem
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Yahuwah. This is a marvelous truth.
Esta es una realidad maravillosa.
Now, you have to ask yourself,
Tienen que hacerse esta pregunta.
here's the $1 million question.
Aquí viene una pregunta del $1,000,000.
Religion
La religión
celebrated first fruits
celebró las primicias
right here.
aquí. que fue el
the 16th,
16 de abril,
the day after the annual Shabbat.
el día después del Shabbat anual.
If Yeshua did this,
Si Yahshua hiciera esto,
the First Fruit Company
el grupo de primicias
had not yet risen.
todavía no había resucitado,
Yes? Neither had he
ni tampoco
yet
él.
risen.
Todavía no había
It was
resucitado.
one day and one night,
Fue un día y una noche,
not 3 days and 3
no
nights.
3 días y 3 noches.
So people say, well, when did Yeshua celebrate first fruits?
Así que la gente se pregunta, pues ¿cuándo celebró Yahshua las
May I
primicias?
remind you, he is the king and high priest of the sons of Zadok.
Puedo recordarles que él es el
Melech
rey,
Zadok.
el sumo ministro de los hijos de Zadok. Él es el Melech Zadok.
Not the Melech of Rome, not the Melech of Talmud Bavli, not the Melech of Talmud Yerushalmi, not the Melech of Kabbalah.
No es el rey de Roma ni el rey de ninguna otra cosa, Kabbalah ni nada más. Él es el rey de los de Melchizedek.
He's the Melech
Él es el Melech de Zadok,
of the sons of
de
Zadok.
los hijos de Zadok.
So you know he wouldn't be doing what the Talmud says is first fruits. The Talmud says that this is first
Así
fruits.
que ustedes saben que
Right
él
here.
estaría haciendo lo que dice el Talmud, que son las primicias, en el 16 de abril.
That's out of order.
Pero eso está fuera de orden.
The first fruits cannot rise before the first fruit.
Las primicias no se pueden levantar antes del primer fruto.
Are you with me?
¿Están conmigo?
That's out of order.
Eso va fuera de orden.
Once he rises,
Una vez que él se levanta,
almost immediately come out of the graves the saints, the sleeping saints,
casi de inmediato los Kiddushim, los apartados, se levantan con él fuera de sus
who were sleeping in
sepulturas,
their
que
graves,
estaban durmiendo en sus sepulturas,
their bodies,
sus cuerpos,
their souls were in paradise.
sus almas estaban en el paraíso.
And for 7 days they
Y
appeared.
por 7 y a 27 días
They
aparece.
celebrated Shabbat
Celebraron el
in
Shabbat
communion.
en comunión.
Probably no appearing, no traveling.
Quizás no se aparecieron, quizás no viajaron.
And today,
Y hoy,
Yeshua took them,
Yahshua se los llevó.
and as the barley wave sheaf,
Y como la gavilla de cebada
presented them
mecida,
to the Father.
los presentó
So
al
I'm not a betting man.
Así que yo no soy un hombre de hacer apuestas.
But if I was,
Pero si lo fuera,
I'm willing to
yo
bet
estoy dispuesto a
Yeshua
apostar
celebrated first fruits
que Yahshua celebró las primicias
today.
hoy
And he celebrated first fruit
y celebró la primicia
a week earlier.
hace una semana
And
atrás.
he divided those 2 days.
Dividió esos 2 días. esos
Even
2
though the
días.
19th was not a Leviticus 23 Moed.
Aunque el 19 no hubiera sido una fiesta
P.S.
indicada por Levítico 23 y postdata,
Is today a Leviticus 23 Moed?
es hoy una fiesta de Levítico 23.
Yes, it is.
Sí lo es,
But it's not a Shabbat.
pero no es un Shabbat.
And it's not a Mikra
Y no
Kodesh.
es una reunión apartada.
Is it a moed?
Kodesh. ¿Es un moed?
Absolutely.
¿Una cita señalada? Sí lo es.
Let's look at it.
Vayamos allá a ver.
Just to be on the safe
Solo
side.
para estar del lado cierto.
Leviticus 23,
Levítico 23,
23:15.
15.
Can I get some more coffee? Who's presiding over the pot? Is that Cassandra? Rivka? All right, I have a serving team. That's even better. Go ahead. Fill it up to the brim. Is that the donkey stuff? You got some of that donkey stuff? If I start growing a tail and ears, you'll know why. It's not me. It's the Shobers brought in this coffee. It's kind of like a foreign object. It's kind of like when a wrestler brings in a foreign object into the ring. You ever watch professional wrestling? It's like they say it's a foreign. It's not a foreign. It was made in America, but they still call it a foreign object. Okay, Leviticus
Levítico 23,
23,
15.
15. Why are you in there? Where are you going? I'm in Shemot. Okay. Coffee, please. Thank you. Leviticus 23,
Levítico 23, 15.
15. You shall have to wait. What kind of service is this? And you shall count from the next Yom
Y contarán desde el próximo Yom
after Shabbat.
que sigue al
That
Shabbat,
was yesterday.
que fue ayer.
The next Yom is today.
El próximo Yom es hoy.
The Yom that you brought the Omer
El Yom en que ofrecieron y trajeron la gavilla de
of the wave sheaf barley offering,
la gavilla de cebada para mecer
7 full weeks.
la ofrenda mecida, 7 semanas cumplidas serán.
So it is a moed.
Así que sí es una cita
It's the
señalada.
appointed
Es
time
el tiempo señalado.
after the Shabbat.
Moed después del Shabbat.
Once Passover week is completo,
Una vez que se completa la semana de la Pascua,
the day after the Shabbat,
el día Yom después del Shabbat,
yesterday was the 25th,
ayer fue el 25,
we shall bring the wave offering
traeremos la ofrenda mecida
that points to the First Fruit Company.
que señala al grupo de primicias.
You shall count 7 weeks
Contarán 7
from
semanas.
here
Desde hoy, desde aquí,
to Shavuot.
al 26,
7
desde el
weeks
26
plus your check.
hasta Shavuot.
Same way you use strips to check your chlorine level, you must have 7 Shabbats in those 50 days.
Tienen que
If you have 50
tener
days
7 Shabbats.
and you don't have 7
En
Shabbats,
esos
you're following
50
lunar
días.
Shabbat. You have a double check. You've got to count 50 days
Tienen que contar 50
and then
días.
double check
Y doble
and make
checar.
sure that in those 50 days,
Confirmando que
7
esos-
weeks, you have 7 weekly Shabbats.
Confirmando que en esa cuenta, en
Double
esos,
check.
50 días, hay 7 Shabbats. Ese es un doble chequeo o manera de confirmar que se está haciendo correctamente.
So, is this an appointed time with Abba?
Así que es este hoy una cita señalada con el Abba, Moed.
Absolutely.
Absolutamente que sí.
Absolutely.
Claro que sí.
Vayikra 23:10.
Esto va hasta el verso 11 y 10, Levítico 23,
So
10.
this is a moed. Can you have a moed without a mikra kodesh? Absolutely.
¿Puede tenerse una cita señalada sin una Mikra Kodesh? Absolutamente que sí.
Speak to the children of Israel
Habla a los hijos de
Say to
Israel,
them.
diles,
when you come into the land I give you.
cuando hayan entrado en la Eretz, la tierra que les doy,
Don't reap the barley harvest right away.
no cieguen su mies de cebada de inmediato.
You shall bring an omer of the beginning.
Traerán un Omer de la primicia.
See that? Omer of the beginning.
Omer por primicia.
The first fruit company.
El grupo de primicias.
It's not all the first fruits, it's the beginning of the first fruits.
No son todas las primicias, sino es el principio de las primicias.
See, the first fruit company
Ven, el grupo de primicias
is the
original
beginning.
es el principio.
In Hebrew, it's reshit
En el hebreo es el reshit.
of the first fruit.
Reshit de las primicias.
As a harvest
Como una cosecha.
and presented to the Kohen.
Y preséntenlo delante del Cohen.
The Zadokite Kohen, a type of Melech
El
Sadok,
Zadok, un tipo de Melech Zadok,
who would receive the offering
que recibirá la ofrenda.
as the king of the
Como
Zadokites.
rey de los descendientes de Zadok.
The priest will take the first fruit company or the beginning of the Omer
Y ese ministro tomará ese principio del Omer
and shall wave the sheaf,
y mecerá la gavilla
and you will be accepted
y serán aceptados
when the Kohen
cuando el Cohen
waves the sheaf.
mece la gavilla.
Is that a command?
¿Es esa una orden?
Is that an appointment?
¿Es esa una cita?
Yeah. If you harvest, you started eating your crop
Si comenzaste a comer tu cosecha
and you didn't bring the Kohen the reshit,
y no le trajiste al Cohen lo que es reshit,
he would
la
make sure that
primicia,
your crop
él confirmaría que tu cosecha
would quickly turn to crap.
rápidamente se convierta en
Those who brought the reshit
aquellos que trajeron al reshit,
to the Kohen in the order of Zadok,
al Cohen en la orden de Zadok,
they would have a harvest.
tendrían una cosecha.
their crop would survive.
su cosecha sobreviviría.
Those who disobeyed the moed
Aquellos que desobedecieron la fiesta
would have their field
tendrían su campo
bring forth crap
de producir basura
instead of crop.
en lugar de cosecha.
And yet,
Sin embargo,
it's not a Shabbat.
no es un Shabbat.
Yahuwah never said, on the day you bring the barley,
Yahuwah no dijo que en el yom que se trajera la cebada,
the rest of the day you can't swim,
que el resto del yom no pueden nadar,
you can't cook,
no pueden cocinar,
you can't go to work.
no pueden ir a trabajar,
You can do all the above.
pueden hacer todo eso.
Isn't that interesting?
¿Que no es eso interesante?
Because we come to him.
Porque llegamos a él.
Whosoever will,
El que quiera
let him come to the
que
Kohen,
venga al Cohen,
who gives the water of life
que da el agua de la Jaim
freely.
libremente.
So you see how something could be a moed,
Pero ven como algo puede ser una cita señalada,
but not a Shabbat?
pero no un Shabbat.
If all this stuff is really true,
Si todo esto es realmente cierto
and we are a royal priesthood,
y somos un ministerio real
and we are serving Yahuwah
y estamos sirviendo a
in the
Yahuwah
order of Melchizedek,
en la orden de Melquisedec,
then when I call a convocation
entonces cuando yo proclame una convocación
of broccoli, chicken fried rice, and barbecue,
de brócoli, arroz con pollo y barbacoa,
it is a moed,
es un moed.
but it's not a Leviticus 23 moed,
Pero no es un moed de Levítico 23.
not a Shabbat.
No es un Shabbat.
Yes? But it's still a moed.
Pero sigue siendo un moed.
It's still an appointed time for the Kehillah.
Sigue siendo una cita señalada para la Kehillah.
So this played out every year
Así que esto se hacía cada año
in Israel,
en Israel,
looking for this day
buscando este yom,
when the true first fruit barley sheaf wave company
cuando el grupo original de la gavilla mecida de cebada
would be presented to Abba
sería presentado delante de la
and begin the countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Begin the countdown
3, 4, comenzando la cuenta
till the rest of the generations
hasta que el resto de las generaciones
would be set free.
fueran liberados.
50,
50,
50.
50.
Can I get a witness? Approximately,
Aproximadamente.
Yeshua came in the 80th Jubilee.
Yeshua vino en el
He
jubileo
comes back in the 120th
80
Jubilee. He comes back in the 120th
y
Jubilee.
regresa en el jubileo 120.
There are approximately what?
Hay aproximadamente ¿cuántos?
40 Jubilees.
40 jubileos.
Isn't that
¿Que
interesting?
no es eso interesante?
There are 40 Jubilees
Hay aproximadamente 40 jubileos
between parousias.
entre parusias.
Remember that word in
apariencias.
Greek, parousia.
Parusias.
40 Jubilees.
40 jubileos.
How many days did Yeshua teach about the kingdom?
¿Cuántos yamim enseñó Yeshua acerca del reino?
I'm glad you're all sleeping because if this was anywhere else, we'd be jumping out of our seat. We'd be blasting off. He was on earth for 40
Él
days
estuvo en la tierra por 40 días.
because there are 40 jubilees
Porque hay 40 jubileos
between his first and second coming.
entre su primer venida y su segunda venida.
That's showing that even though there's a first fruit company,
Y eso enseña que aunque sea en el grupo original de las primicias,
for 40 more jubilees,
por 40 más jubileos,
those who receive his Torah,
aquellos que reciben su Torah, su instrucción,
his instructions,
sus instrucciones,
can join and be equal
pueden unirse y ser iguales
to the first fruit company.
al grupo original de primicias.
Isn't that amazing?
¿Qué no es eso maravilloso?
That's why he
Aleluya.
was on earth.
Y es por eso que estaba él en la tierra.
But notice, in order.
Pero noten que fue en orden.
When he returns after 40 jubilees,
Cuando él regrese después de 40 jubileos,
having taught us about the coming Malchut
habiendo enseñadonos acerca del Malchut,
and all the
del reino
Shabbats which are
venidero,
shadows of the coming Malchut,
y todos los Shabbats que son sombras del reino venidero,
Colossians 2:16.
Colosenses 2:16,
We have the final scorecard.
tenemos la última tarjeta guardar cuentas
regarding the resurrection at his return.
acerca de la resurrección a su retorno.
Yeshua rose,
Yeshua se levantó.
the first fruit company rose.
El primer grupo de primicias se levantaron.
There's a third and fourth part.
Hay una tercera y cuarta parte.
The third part of the first fruits are those who are living
La tercera parte de esas
at his
primicias
return.
son aquellos que están vivos durante su regreso.
The fourth part who join the first fruits
La cuarta parte de los que se unen a las primicias
are the dead in Messiah
son los que están muertos en Mashiach,
who have died during the last 40 jubilees.
que han muerto durante los últimos 40 jubileos. Esta
You
es la
want,
segunda.
you want to keep score here?
Quieren mantener cuentas.
This is how the kingdom is built.
Así es como es edificado el reino.
4 parts
Hay 4 partes
to the first fruits.
a las primicias.
Yeshua the first fruit.
Yeshua, perdón, es la
The
primicia.
Aviv 19 boys, the first fruit company.
El grupo original de Aviv 19 que resucitó con él.
Those who are alive at the time of Yeshua's return. The third part of the first fruit group.
La tercera parte son aquellos que estuvieron vivos durante el tiempo de Yeshua.
And those who are dead,
Y aquellos que están muertos,
who died in faith
que murieron en la fe
during the last 2,000 years.
durante los últimos 2000 años.
They're the fourth part.
Son la cuarta parte, Baruch Shemawa.
And then comes the millennial kingdom.
Y luego viene el reino milenial. Aren't the ones that are
There's that
alive,
number
the fourth
4
part?
again. There's that number.
The ones that ascend are the fourth part. Everyone that lived between Yeshua's life and death and until those that died before Yeshua comes, those are the third part together. And the ones that are alive and ascend, alive, those are the fourth part.
Either way. And since it's a kingdom of grace,
Y ya que es un reino de Gesed, de ternura,
even after the 1,000-year millennial kingdom,
aún después del reino milenial,
the one who has the keys
el que tiene las llaves
of death, hell, and the grave,
del infierno, la muerte y el sepulcro,
reveals himself
se revela a sí mismo
during the millennium,
durante el milenio
and perhaps after the
y
millennium.
quizás después del milenio
And there actually may be
y quizás
a fifth layer
haya una quinta etapa o una
To the
quinta
first
capa a las primicias.
Isn't this beautiful?
Porque se me ama.
Beautiful stuff.
Cosas preciosas.
So he builds his kingdom
Así que él edifica su reino
by stacking
al montar
layers of the first fruits,
capas de las primicias,
each in its own order.
cada uno en su orden.
Just like he builds his promises to his saints
Así como él construye sus promesas a sus apartados,
by the principle
a través del principio
of the stacking of covenants.
del montar de los convenios.
We know about that, right?
Y de eso sabemos, ¿cierto?
One covenant does not negate the prior covenant.
Un convenio no niega al convenio anterior.
His promises are stacked.
Sus promesas son
The
agregadas.
earlier, the latter does not negate the prior.
Lo último no niega lo anterior.
Same with the first fruits.
Lo mismo con las primicias.
Because they were second in order,
Porque ya que fueron segundos en orden,
Bikkurim
Bikkurim
doesn't negate
no niega
the third
la
And the
tercera
fourth
capa
layer.
y la cuarta capa
of Bikkurim.
de Bikkurim, de primicias.
Doesn't negate it.
No lo niega.
Isn't that beautiful?
Que no es eso precioso.
We who come to him
Nosotros, los que llegamos a él
at the end of the age,
al fin de la época,
fare no worse.
no nos va peor
Fare no worse, and nothing is held back
y nada es retenido
than those who were first.
a comparación de aquellos que fueron primeros.
Isn't that beautiful?
¿Que no es eso precioso?
Life is beautiful
La Jaime es
when you're in
preciosa.
Yeshua.
Cuando uno está en Yeshua,
I'll have some of that. Oh, a kick. Coffee is here.
Oh! Hey!
Café con leche, baby, para su pastor. No, that's the sugar for the coffee. The priest cannot function without coffee, darling. It doesn't say that in the Torah, but it's common sense. All right. This should be lógico. Okay. That's right. Teaching juice. Just like Michael Jackson had his Jesus juice. I got my teaching juice. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Oh yeah, you know the whole story. We don't want to get into that right now. No. We want to stay in the ghost. We want to stay in the ghost. Not get out of the ghost. So where was we? Okay. So there's a beautiful order
Así que hay una
to
orden
this thing.
preciosa
There's a
esta
beautiful
cosa. Hay
order.
una orden preciosa, organizado.
Nobody gets this order
Nadie comprende esta orden.
until you humble yourself under the mighty hand of Yahuwah and let the Zadokites give you what they have.
Hasta que uno se humilla delante de la mano poderosa de Yahweh y está uno listo para recibir lo que los descendientes de Tzadok tienen.
That means you're going to have to put away your Crayolas
Eso quiere decir que tienes que quitar, alzar tus crayolas
and your coloring
y
books
tus libritos de colorear
and the calendars.
y los
All the
calendarios,
calendars in the trash.
todos los calendarios en la basura.
Because none of the calendars
Porque ninguno de los calendarios
had the mind and authority of the throne of Yeshua.
tenía la mente y la autoridad del trono de Yahshua.
These people were authoritative geniuses.
Esta gente era inteligentísima y con mucha autoridad.
And I'm not a betting man,
Y no soy hombre de apuestas,
but if I
pero
was,
si lo fuera,
I would bet
yo apostaría
that Yeshua HaAdon himself
que Yahshua el Adón mismo
celebrated Bikkurim
celebró Bikkurim
right here
aquí
with the Bikkurim.
con los Bikkurim.
He didn't do it right
Él
here.
no lo hizo aquí.
I will share my glory
Yo no compartiré
with
mi
no one. I
estima
come
con nadie.
first.
Yo vengo
Seek
primero.
ye first
Busquen
the
primero
first fruits,
el primer fruto
and you'll be first
y
fruits.
serán primicias.
Don't try to put the first fruits on any kind of equal setting and equal footing and equal standing with the first
No
fruit.
intente poner a las primicias en nivel igual con el primer fruto. Aleluya.
And when you do things my
Y
way,
cuando hacen las cosas de mi manera,
I'll take my Shabbat right here,
yo tomaré mi Shabbat acá,
the 18th.
el 18 de Aviv,
I'll give you your
y yo
Shabbat
les doy a ustedes el Shabbat suyo,
because I'm not in the grave. I've already begun the teaching work of the
ya
Father.
que yo no estoy
I'll be
más en
teaching
el
on this
sepulcro.
Shabbat. You guys rest.
Yo estaré enseñando este Shabbat y ustedes descansen.
You first fruits, you rest.
Ustedes primicias descansen
I'll be busy about my Father's
y yo
business.
estaré ocupado en los negocios de mi Abba.
I'll be teaching
Estaré enseñando
for 43 days.
por 43 Yamim.
40 days,
40 Yamim, perdón,
starting here.
comenzando aquí.
But it ends on the 43rd day of the Omer.
Pero culmina en el Yom
You know-
43 del Omer.
That's interesting. Let's just see what day, look up what day 43 day of the Omer is. There may be a little secret there. And I don't know, I'm not trying to be cute, I don't know this. But if somebody has the third month, if you could look up the 43rd day of the Omer, we may be in for a surprise. Let's see what day that is. I'm guessing it's a Yom Shishi. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, if I had the whole thing in front of me. Very interesting. Okay, what day of the week is it? You saying May 28th?
Day 42 is 5:27.
Okay, so say that again. Day 43 would be May 28th? Okay, isn't that interesting? So Sunday would be a Yom Sheni. Okay, so that would be a Yom Sheni. Okay. Mariam can double check that, but that would be a Yom Sheni. Tov. The point is, there's an order to all this. There's an incredible order to all this. And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We count to 50 to Shavuot because it's a declaration of faith that I'm counting on the kingdom that's supposed to come. He's not going to fail me. He's not going to let me down. And there'll be other layers joining this company. It starts out as an exclusive company, but it ends up with layers upon layers upon layers of kingdom citizens, just like his promises are not just one layer, but all the covenants belong to us. He stacks them all up like hotcakes, like pancakes, and when we sit down to get those pancakes, we don't isolate them. Says, I'm not going to eat this one, it's the old pancake. I'm going to eat this one, it's the new pancake. I'm going to eat this one because it's the pancake of Yeshua. I'm not going to eat the bottom pancake because it was the first one out of the oven and it's the oldest. No, honey child, I've done seen you eat. And when you go to IHOP or the Waffle House and someone sets a stack of 5 pancakes before you, guess what? They're all the promises of food and they're all gone. That's the way it is with the promises of Yahuwah.
It seems to me, if I'm doing this count correct, that it's the 8th of the 3rd Chodesh, which is in Yom 1 of the week, which is coinciding with the 27th of May. So it's just the normal Yom of...
Yom 1 of what week? If it's a Sunday, that means this year it would be a Yom Sheni.
No, it's a Yom
Today's
1.
Yom Echad.
It's Yom 1 of a Hebraic week.
Today is Yom Echad. Remember that.
Yes.
So Sunday this year is Yom Sheni.
43 days later
Would be
the 8th Yom of the 3rd Chodesh, which is the 27th of May, which is basically a Yom Echad.
Okay, what are the Shabbats in the 3rd Chodesh?
7, 14, 21, and 28. It's on the first day of the week.
Okay, after which Shabbat?
So it's a not...
After which Shabbat?
It's just the normal day of the week.
What is Shabbat before that?
The 7th, the day before.
So the 7th of the 3rd month is a Shabbat.
Yes.
And so the day he ascended is
I believe it's the 8th.
Okay, so
the
it's a
third
Yom
Chodesh.
Echad. Okay.
He gets back to work.
What are you saying here, Benjamin? I can't
believe.
explain this to
It's a
me.
work day for him.
Explain this to me.
I'm saying he was here 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
The 19th was...
Put the camera on him if he's going to come up here. Talk to the people.
He was here 40 days. The 19th...
Estuvo aquí 40 días, el 19 fue
Right?
el primero.
40 days is 5 weeks and 5 days.
40
Right.
días es 5 días y 5.
19th
Could you speak a little louder and give me a pause time?
19th of
Aviv.
19th of Aviv, the 26th, a week after that, is the 3rd of the 2nd Chodesh. That's 3. And then 10, 17 makes 35 days, plus 5 days. He's here.
So you're saying he was here till Chodesh 2, day 29,
Yeah, Chodesh 2, day 29, yes.
when he ascended, which was the 43rd day of the
Which was the 33rd day
33rd day of the Omer,
of the Omer.
plus the 7 days from the 19th to the 26th.
Right.
Right. Okay. So if we count the 33rd day of the Omer, correct?
Yes.
You're saying is the 29th day of the 2nd month.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Beautiful. 29th day of the 2nd month. Hey, look up May 7th. I'm just curious. What day is? Thank you. Thank you. Look up May 7th. What day is that in the Omer? Mariamne, look up May 7th. Okay, so let's continue. Thank you, Elder Benjamin. That's a confirmation of what we were saying. But you see how that's a little bit different than what we used to teach?
Oh, yeah.
Because we used to teach that it was the 40th day of the Omer, but it can't be because there's a 7-day wait until the Omer starts. So it can't be that.
The 7th is, I don't know what day of the Omer, but it's the 18th of the second Chodesh.
Okay, and what are the Shabbats in the second Chodesh?
It's 2, 9, 16, 23, and 30.
2, 9, 16, 20. Wait a second, May. It's a Yom Sheni.
Yes.
It's a Torah Yom Sheni. Okay. All right, let's go to Gilyana. We did Gilyana 7, 1 through 8 yesterday, and 9 through 17. I want to close with a couple of short scriptures. Gilyana.
Vamos a Gilyana, el libro de Revelación.
And I'm going to take, if anybody has a few questions, I'm going to
Y si alguien tiene preguntas, las voy a tomar.
open it up to a few questions,
Voy a
but
abrirlo a unas cuantas preguntas.
we're gonna put you on mic and on camera
Vamos a poner el micrófono y cámara
so that our worldwide kehila
para que nuestra quejila por todo el mundo
can benefit from it.
pueda aprovecharse de ello.
We are in Chazon,
Estamos en el libro de Jasón.
Gilyana.
Revelación, Gilyana,
they're interchangeable terms.
Jasón o Revelación
14
14,
verses 1 through 4.
versos 1 a 4.
Okay. So we now believe, after reconsideration,
Entonces hoy creemos, después de reconsideración,
that the Bikkurim
que los Bikkurim
rose
se levantaron
or ascended
o ascendieron
with Yeshua
con Yeshua
on the 40th day
en el Yom día 40,
after Aviv 19,
después de Aviv 19,
or the 33rd day
o en el Yom 33
of the counting of the Omer.
de la cuenta del Omer.
Now, this should confirm that.
Y esto debería de confirmar eso.
You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was one thing that because I had checked on that before and it was in my mind, that the 33rd Yom of the Omer is known as the day when a plague came to the students of Gamaliel, and that they died because they hated without a cause, and it was Yeshua that
Wow.
they hated.
That's true. Holy cow.
And then nobody is allowed to cut their hair nor
Wow.
their nails until after the 33rd day.
Okay, before
of
you
the Omer.
explain that, before you explain that, no, hold it. No, hold it. You're the first fruits. All right? We're all first fruits. So it don't matter. We can go in any order here. I'm just trying to get my head together. Now, you can let me get my head together? If you interrupt me one more time, I'm going to lose my twins. I'm twending. When we were children,
Cuando éramos
and this
niños,
goes with what she's saying,
y esto va con lo que ella acaba de decir,
the most joyous day
que el tiempo más jubiloso
on the school calendar
en el calendario de los niños en la escuela
was not Hanukkah,
no era Hanukkah,
was not Pesach.
no era la Pascua.
In the Hebrew Day School in Lawrence, Long Island,
En la escuela hebrea de
where I went to Hebrew
Lawrence,
Day School.
Long Island, a donde yo fui a la escuela hebrea.
My wife went to Hillel
Mi esposa fue a la escuela Hillel,
Academy,
a la academia
or
Hillel,
Nassau County, Hebrew Academy in Nassau County,
o la
Hanky.
academia en Nassau, en el condado de Nassau.
Hanky. Right across the street from me.
Al cruzar la calle de mi escuela,
And shucks,
y híjole,
we didn't meet.
no nos encontramos.
We were going to Hebrew Day School,
Íbamos a la escuela hebrea.
meaning no public school.
Quería decir que no íbamos a la escuela
We got
pública.
taught Hebrew, rabbis,
Se nos
Torah, the whole
enseñó
9 yards.
hebreo, la Torah, todo lo que tiene que ver con la cultura.
That's where my
hebrea.
scholarship began.
Es ahí donde comenzó mi aprendizaje.
Way before I met Yeshua.
Mucho antes de que conocí yo a
So
Yeshua.
she was going to Hank,
Así que ella iba a Hank
and I was on the other side of the
y
street,
yo estaba al cruzar la calle,
right on Frost Lane.
ahí en la calle Frost.
There were 2 Hebrew schools
Habían dos escuelas hebreas
on both different sides of the street.
al lado diferente
¿Ah?
de la calle.
Who? Oh, you were at Hank. Close enough. Don't mess up my story. She went to Hank in
Ella
West
fue a la
Hempstead.
escuela Hank.
You're right, that was Hillel. That's
It
right.
wasn't across the
I wasn't, no, it was in the same general area.
That's all.
And I went to Brandeis. That's
Y
true.
yo
I'm
fui a la
thinking of
escuela
Hillel.
Brandeis.
You're right. But We had never met.
No nos habíamos
Don't mess
encontrado.
up my story.
It's messed up already.
No, because it's not messed up because
It's
the
not
log
across the street.
because the Lag BaOmer part's not messed up, which is the key part.
Ok, la clave de esta historia es la cita del Lag BaOmer.
So the most important day of the school calendar
Así que el día más importante del calendario escolástico
was Lag BaOmer,
era Lag BaOmer,
which is a fancy way of
lo
saying
cual es una manera ornamentada de decir
Lamed Gimel
Lamed Gimel
BaOmer.
BaOmer.
Lamed 30,
Lamed 30,
Gimel
3,
3. Lamed Gimel
33.
day 33 of the Omer.
el día 33 del Omer.
So if you had asked me, I can't speak for her because I tried that, it won't work. When I went to school, and if you asked me
Así que
what
si
was my
ustedes-
favorite day, Lag BaOmer.
Si ustedes me preguntaran cuál era mi día favorito en la escuela, yo les diría Lag BaOmer.
Why Lag BaOmer?
¿Por qué Lag BaOmer?
Because that, to me, as a nice Jewish boy,
Porque para mí, siendo un
Now
niño
look what
judío,
happened to me.
Amable, miren lo que me pasó.
I used to be a nice Jewish.
Antes era un muchacho judío
Something went
muy
wrong.
amable, algo me pasó.
Something definitely went wrong.
Oy, oy, oy.
But I was a nice Jewish.
Pero sí era un muchacho judío amable.
To me and to the rest of my classmates,
Para mí y para el resto de mis colegas en la escuela,
Lag BaOmer
Lag BaOmer
meant pizza,
quería decir pizza,
marshmallows,
bombones,
relay races,
juegos de carreras,
horseshoe tossing contests,
concursos,
gold versus blue,
oro versus
the
azul,
gold team versus the blue
el
team.
equipo de oro versus
The
el
whole
equipo
school
de
was
azul.
divided into teams.
La escuela entera se dividía en equipos.
Nobody ever told me
Nadie nunca me dijo
that the picnic was called Lag BaOmer
que el picnic se conocía Lag BaOmer
because it was during the counting of the blessed Omer,
porque
for
era
crying
durante
out
la
loud.
cuenta del Omer.
I just knew it as pizza day and gold and blue day
Yo
and
simplemente
bowling day.
lo conocía como el día de la pizza, el día de boliche, el día de juegos.
Going to Hebrew school don't make you a Hebrew any more than going to a Christian school makes you a Christian.
El ir a la escuela hebrea no lo hace a uno un hebreo, a diferencia del
It's a
ir
matter
a
of the heart.
la escuela cristiana no lo hace a uno cristiano, es cuestión del corazón.
But now, and then I'm going to let her follow up.
Pero aquí la voy a dejar a ella que continúe con lo que está diciendo.
That was the ascension.
Ese fue el yom de la
Based on the
ascensión,
Zadokite authority.
basado en la autoridad de Tzadok.
Not on what Jerry Morris is teaching necessarily,
No es lo que
or
Jerry
Monty
Morris
Judah, or Moshe
enseña.
Kanachas. Based on what we got at Qumran, based on the records we got at
Basado en
Qumran,
los archivos que recibimos de Qumran,
Yeshua rose
Yahshua se levantó
on Lag BaOmer.
en Lag BaOmer, and the people died.
And in
that day.
Jewish schools, it's the happiest day for the children.
Y en las escuelas
Wow.
judías es un día alegre para los niños.
Amazing.
Es maravilloso.
Unless you become like little
Solo que tengas
children at a
un
picnic with
niñito
marshmallows and hot dogs and relay races.
en una
Can't
en
get
un
excited. If you
picnic
can't get excited, you
con
can't get in the
concursos,
kingdom.
carreras, uno no se puede animar para entrar al reino.
Wow.
Aleluya.
Yeah, this is crazy stuff.
Esto es maravilloso.
When I got up this morning,
Cuando me levanté esta
trust me,
mañana, we
I
need
did
to
not
celebrate
plan.
Lag BaOmer like
I did
that.
not plan on
We should celebrate Lag BaOmer
go to a
like
picnic and go out and
that. Do
yeah.
picnics and celebration.
You mean we don't have enough holidays? We had 9 meetings this
Don't
month.
you want to celebrate Lag
We got 2
BaOmer?
more this week.
Don't you want to celebrate
How
Lag
many more?
BaOmer?
Huh?
Don't you want to celebrate Lag BaOmer with pizza and marshmallows and contests?
No speak English.
Yes, speak a marshmallow. You speak a marshmallow.
What are you guys? More meetings? Yay! More meetings. We only had 9 this month.
Lag BaOmer.
On top of what? Be quiet. If you don't behave yourself, we're gonna have Lag BaOmer with the calendar teaching.
Your contest.
All right.
With chocolate.
We'll get a marshmallow
Que hay
calendar,
que celebrar Lag BaOmer así como lo celebraba en su
and
escuela.
this way everybody will be happy. We'll get,
Y recrear Lag BaOmer.
we'll get a marshmallow calendar. Oh my! You realize we're on the air?
Yes.
You realize this, right? All right. I'm sorry. Now you wanted to tie all this in with Hillel. Go ahead.
Well, you were trying to look for
And
a yom
Rivka's
that
next.
was significant, and that's it. If he resurrects usted estaba intentando conectar esto con algún Yom significativo y ese es el Yom. Si Yahshua ascendió al Abba en el día 33 del Omer, if he ascended to the Abba on day 33 of the Omer, it coincides with the cultural tradition of Jewish Lag BaOmer, coincide con la tradición judía del Lag BaOmer, which is known in history that was a tragic Yom for Israel, because there was basically a plague that hit the students of Gamaliel, que es un día trágico para Israel, porque en ese Yom murieron muchos de los aprendices de Gamaliel and probably the Knesset, the synagogues, las sinagogas, because of that plague, por causa de esa plaga.
And why was the plague?
That the plague fell on them because they hated without a cause. Y la plaga dice que cayó esa plaga porque odiaron sin causa. And the one that they hated without a cause was Yeshua.
Who ascended on that day.
Fue a Yeshua quien ascendió en ese día, en ese
wow, you're not going to get to say. Go ahead, Rivka. You're chopping at the bits. Go ahead.
It was maybe that is the underlying thing, but basically what happened was that.
You're going to have to get a microphone or people cannot hear you. Can you come up and grab this mic? Okay.
The feast that was the time
Rivka says that was the time.
Rivka dice que ese fue el tiempo.
when
Thank you, Chris. Okay, thank you. Chris is going to give you a microphone.
it was
Thank you.
During the time of the counting of the Omer
Durante el tiempo de la cuenta de El Omer,
was in the time of Rabbi Akiva,
en el tiempo del rabino Akiva,
there was the Bar Kokhba revolt,
hubo la revuelta de Bar Kokhba.
and when that happened,
Y cuando eso aconteció,
the Romans had a field day,
los romanos tuvieron un
and
día de libre albedrío,
and thousands of people in Judah
y miles de personas en Yehuda
were killed,
murieron,
including those students.
incluyendo sus aprendices.
But the students were not by the Romans. That was a plague. Right?
Pero los aprendices no fue por los romanos, esa fue una plaga.
They were killed by the Romans?
They were, I'm just looking at Wikipedia, and the reason they say a plague is because of the fact that it was like a plague.
No, in other words, Yahuwah, hold it. In other words, see what goes on in our house? Because the Yahuwah used the Romans to bring, as it were, a plague.
Yeah.
Okay.
Porque Yahuwah usó a los
So
romanos.
it was not isolated pestilence.
Porque Yahuwah trajo a los romanos a hacer lo que parecía ser una plaga.
Okay.
But the point is that those same people
Pero el punto es que esa misma gente
were looking at Bar Kokhba
estaban viendo a Bar Kokhba
As Mashiach.
as Mashiach instead of Yeshua.
como Mashiach en lugar de a Yeshua.
Good.
Right.
Very
And
good.
so basically the reason
The plague.
that they made Lag BaOmer
Entonces básicamente la razón que hizo Lag BaOmer
into a holiday
una fiesta
was because that day
es porque en ese día
the killing stopped.
cesó la matanza.
The killing of the Jewish people by the Romans, which they defined as a plague.
La matanza del pueblo yahudí por los romanos que ellos definieron como una plaga.
So it was still a joyous day
Así que
Yeah.
siguió siendo un Yom
because the
jubiloso
plague stopped and the killing stopped.
porque cesó la plaga y
Wow.
cesó la matanza.
Excellent.
The morning before
And
that,
Yeshua ascends
Y Yahshua
as the one
asciende
who has the ability to destroy the plague.
como el que tiene la habilidad de destruir las plagas.
And even brought the plagues in Egypt. Then he stopped them.
O trajo las plagas
That's
a
beautiful.
Egipto
That's beautiful.
y luego las paró.
But see, this Lag BaOmer thing
Y es precioso, pero ven esta cosa de Lag BaOmer
that we're talking about
de la que estamos hablando,
only works
solo funciona
on the Zedekiah time.
en el calendario de Tzadok.
It doesn't work because any other calendar, you'll find Yeshua ascending on the 42nd day of the Omer.
Porque en cualquier otro calendario se
Rather
encuentra a
than
Yahshua
Lag
ascendiendo
BaOmer.
en el Yom 42
Make
de
sense?
Omer en lugar de el Lag
Has him
BaOmer.
ascending on the 42nd.
Lo tienen ascendiendo en el 42 de la cuenta.
Because
de
why?
Omer.
Because if you start counting back here on
Porque
the,
si uno comienza a contar aquí atrás,
on the 16th
en el 16,
as the first day of the Omer,
como el primer yom del Omer,
watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have him ascending on the 42nd rather than the 33rd, and the whole connection to Lag BaOmer, right, Rivka?
uno lo
The whole
tiene
connection
ascendiendo
is
en
gone.
una fecha diferente y la
If you reckon it
conexión
any other way.
se desaparece si lo calcula uno de cualquier otra manera.
That was excellent, thank you.
That's a yacht,
One of those planned Yah incidences. Baruch Hash, that we need in our lives. Okay, Chazon 14:1.
Vamos a Jasón, Revelación 14:1.
But man, can you imagine if my Jewish people ever knew the real reason to be joyful on
Pero
that
si se
day?
imaginan,
They're already
la real
joyful
razón,
on that day. They're already happy on the
si
33rd day of the Omer.
conociera la real razón para alegrarse
Now somebody needs to tell them the real
en el
reason.
33 del Omer, si lo supieran, pero alguien tiene que decirles la razón real.
Wow. And as a child, you know, we
Y
were
como niño,
so secular in a Hebrew day school
éramos tan seculares en una escuela hebrea
that nobody ever bothered telling me.
que nadie nunca se
Yeah.
molestó en decirme y aclarar.
Don't hold your breath. Like the rabbis in Brandeis High School are really going to tell
Como si los rabinos
Moshe
en la escuela
Kanachowski
grandes
that the Messiah has come
le van a
and
decir
ascended on Lag BaOmer.
Moshe
Yeah. Don't hold your
Kanachowski
breath.
que la razón que el Lag BaOmer es un tiempo jubiloso
Not
porque
happening.
Yahshua ascendió en el 33 de la cuenta del Omer.
That's like going to a Catholic school and then the sister tells you, I want to share a secret with you. The Virgin Mary, there's no such thing as the Immaculate Conception.
Es como ir a una
Don't hold your
escuela
breath.
católica y que una de las
There's more of a
maestras
chance of the Pope being on
monjas
heroin than there is of that
le
happening.
comparta a uno diciendo, te quiero decir un secreto, no existe la
That's what I'm
Virgen
saying.
María.
For all we know, Pope, who's the Pope nowadays? San Francisco?
Chapter 14,
San Fernando?
verses 1 to 4.
Whatever. He could be on opioids. No wonder he says that there's no hell and there's no heaven. This guy's on something, I'll tell you that. It makes me long for the days of John Paul IX. Or was it the 5th? Who was the Polish dude? The 4th. The 4th. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. All right. Is that possible that there's varying degrees of stupidity and depravity when it comes to the pontiffs? Not all pontiffs are destined for hell equally. Is that possible? That some pontiffs are better than others? Or all the pontiffs Meshugana and Verdreiten Kopf? Could you imagine the Vatican puts out a new press release next year? We have an announcement. The Pope on opioids has ordained that Lag BaOmer be a Catholic holiday from henceforth and issues a papal bull. Tova, can you see that happening? That the Bishop of Rome issues a papal bull that from henceforth Lag BaOmer is going to be a mandatory Catholic holiday. Definitely. They would change it to St. Lag's Day. Or Yule Log's Day. You lag in and you lag out. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Why am I so happy today? Bikkurim, this day is about me. It's about us. It's about us. We're joining the company. We've joined the company. Okay. Gilead 14:1.
Revelación 14:1.
And Yochanan the beloved looked
Y Yohanan el apreciado vio
and saw a lamb.
a un cordero.
Obviously, he's already ascended on Lag BaOmer.
Obviamente ya ascendió en Lag BaOmer,
Who stood on Har Zion.
que estuvo sobre el Har Zion.
Well. And with him were 144,000 Israelites,
Y con él estuvieron 144,000 israelitas,
having Abba's name
teniendo el nombre del Abba
written in their forehead.
escrito en la frente.
And I heard a voice from the Shamayim,
Y oí una voz de los Shamaim,
as the voice of many Mayim,
como estruendo de muchas Maim aguas,
as the voice of a great thunder.
como sonido de un gran trueno.
I heard the voice of harpists
Oí la voz como de arpistas
playing with their harps,
que tocaban sus arpas
and they sang, as it were,
y cantaban como si fuera
a renewed cheer,
una shir, una entonación renovada
a new song.
o nueva,
before the Kisei,
delante del trono,
before the four creatures,
delante de los cuatro seres vivientes o
and
criaturas,
before the Zechanim,
y de los ancianos, Zechanim,
the elders.
los ancianos.
And no man can learn
Y nadie podía aprender
that sheer,
la shir,
but the 144,000
sino aquellos 144,000
who were redeemed from the Olam.
que fueron redimidos de entre los de la tierra.
These are the first fruit company,
Este es el grupo de las primicias, el grupo original de las primicias,
who are not defiled with women.
que no son contaminados con mujeres,
They are virgins.
son vírgenes.
This doesn't mean they don't have a wife.
Esto no quiere decir que no tengan esposa,
It means that they are not defiled
quiere decir que no han sido contaminados
by false theology.
por la teología falsa.
They're not defiled by false religion.
No son contaminados por la religión falsa.
Because in Scripture,
Porque en la escritura,
I'm sorry, ladies, and you know I love you,
y saben que las amo, señoras,
but ladies are not always a term of endearment.
pero las
Women.
mujeres no siempre son una idea o concepto positivo en la escritura.
Endearment. Often the term woman
Frecuentemente la frase mujer
is used in a very derogatory way,
se usa de manera muy
in a
derogatoria,
pejorative way.
en una manera derogatoria.
When Israel falls into false theology,
Cuando Israel cae en teología falsa,
she's said to be a whorish woman.
se dice ser una mujer ramera,
So
fornicaria.
Yahweh loves women, obviously.
Así que obviamente Yahweh ama a las mujeres.
He died for men and women.
Él murió por hombres y mujeres,
But prophetically and metaphorically,
pero proféticamente y metafóricamente
it's not always a pretty picture.
no siempre es algo positivo.
But the 144,000
Pero los 144,000
are pure and are not defiled by false religion. They have no teacher or they have no instructor except the Lamb. That's what that means.
Puros.
They're virgins. They are undefiled
No son
by
contaminados.
anybody else's teaching
por la enseñanza de nadie más,
except those of the Lamb,
excepto aquellos del Cordero.
for they are His virgins.
Son del Cordero porque son virgen de él.
Whoa. You know what I'm going to say now, right?
Y saben lo que voy a decir en
So
este
I won't
momento.
say it, since
Así
you
que
already
no
know
lo
what I'm
diré,
gonna say.
Ya que saben lo que voy a decir.
144,000
144,000
virgins,
vírgenes,
not defiled
no contaminados
by anybody else's false teaching.
por la enseñanza falsa de nadie más.
And they're all what?
Y todos son qué?
Engaged
Todos están comprometidos.
to whom?
¿Con quién?
To Yeshua. There you
Con
go.
Yoshua.
Last time I checked,
La última vez que yo
this is
chequeé,
not the world's perverted polyamory.
esta no es la poliamoría contaminada y pervertida del mundo.
This is Torah marriage.
Este es
Right.
el casamiento de acuerdo a Torah.
Think about it. The 144,000 are all married to him, and they follow their husband wherever he leads.
Los 144,000 todos están en
They're
convenio,
faithful.
casados con él y siguen a su,
They're not women who are
a
defiled,
su
they're
cordero a
faithful.
donde quiera que él va. Son leales a él.
Faithful virgins of the first fruit company,
Vírgenes leales del primer grupo original,
who were taught by Yeshua from day one.
que fueron enseñados por Yahshua desde el primer
When did
día.
their teaching begin?
¿Cuándo comenzó su enseñanza?
Right here.
Aquí, en el 19 de abril.
There was no time for them to be defiled by women.
No había tiempo para que fueran contaminados por
The
mujeres.
Pharisees didn't get them here,
Los
here,
fariseos no los
here,
contaminaron aquí,
here,
ni acá,
here,
ni acá.
here,
En ninguna parte de la semana que
Here.
estuvieron aquí.
or for the next 33 days
O por los próximos 33 días.
until Lag BaOmer.
Hasta Lag BaOmer.
They were undefiled.
Habían sido, no fueron contaminados.
They were separate unto Yeshua, and that's why they rose with Yeshua.
Fueron apartados.
And that's
de
why they
Yeshua.
ascended with
Y
Yeshua.
por eso resucitaron.
There was no
con
time,
él.
there was no days, there was no chodashim for them to be defiled by anybody else's teaching except the purity of the Lamb's water.
Y no había
The
tiempo.
purity of the Lamb's water.
No había
The
tiempo.
purity of the Lamb's water.
No había tiempo para que ellos fueran contaminados. Ellos estaban con su cordero siguiéndolo a donde quiera y fueron purificados por el agua de él.
I pledge allegiance
Yo declaro mi alianza
to the Lamb
al Cordero
and to the kingdom that he brings.
y al reino que Él trae.
And I will not depart
Y no me apartaré.
and let other women teach me,
Permitiré que ni
thereby defiling
ninguna
my
otra
temple.
mujer me enseñe y por lo tanto contaminando mi templo.
So help me, Yah.
Ayúdame ya.
I pledge allegiance
Declaro mi alianza
to the Lamb
al Cordero
of the United Tribes
de las tribus unidas
of Yeshurun.
de Yashurun. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
These are those who follow the Lamb
Y estos son aquellos que siguen al Cordero
wherever he leads them.
a donde quiera que Él los lidera.
These are the
los
ones who are
lleva.
redeemed from among men,
Estos son aquellos redimidos de entre los hombres.
being the Bikkurim,
Las primicias
by becoming Netzarim
al hacerse Netzarim
to Yahuwah and the Lamb.
a Yahweh y al
I'm going to
Cordero.
read that again.
Y lo leeré.
The
de nuevo.
144,000 were already redeemed
Estos 144,000 ya habían sido redimidos
in the past,
en el pasado,
during the days of Emmanuel's earthly sojourn,
durante el tiempo de la jornada de Emmanuel aquí entre nosotros.
and they became his branches,
Y se hicieron sus ramas,
his first fruit company.
su grupo original de primicias.
They're taught by no other theology, so they are his virgins.
No son enseñados
They're
por
all
ninguna
engaged to Yeshua
otra
because,
teología.
oh my God, Yeshua's practicing polygyny.
No son contaminados por ninguna otra teología, ya que
Take your other doctrine and,
ellos
stick
siguen
it in the laundry
solamente
machine.
al Cordero.
Do a quick 99-cent wash on your theology. Dígame. Do a quick 99-cent wash.
Hagan un lavado rápido de 99 centavos.
Well,
de
I
su
don't
teología.
believe in that Torah stuff y'all been teaching. Well, then I'll pray for you, brother. Because not only does Yeshua not stop polygyny, he practices. Oh, you give out. We've got an Elohim that practices this stuff.
Yahshua no
we need a
impide
new
la
Bible.
poligamia, al contrario, él la practica.
And in their mouth was found no guile,
En su boca no se encontraba mentira,
for they are without fault.
porque son sin mancha.
They're all engaged to the Lamb, and there's no, Yahweh finds no fault.
Todos comprometidos al Cordero y Yahweh no encuentra falla en
No
ellos.
fault marriage. Before the Kisei of Yahuwah,
Delante del trono, quise de Yahweh.
they are those
Ellos son aquellos
who are the Bikkurim.
quienes son los
This is
Bikkurim,
their day.
las primicias. Este es su yom.
And we are the layers and layers and layers and layers since the Nesarim
Y
Bikkurim.
nosotros somos parte de esas capas después de esos Bikkurim.
So what was initially their day
Entonces lo que inicialmente fue su día, su
is
yom,
now our day.
es nuestro hoy.
This is your day.
Este es tu yom.
Good morning, Holy Spirit.
Boker Tov, Ruach HaKadosh, feliz
This
yom.
is your day.
Este es tu día.
This was our day before Benny Hinn was born.
Este fue nuestro yom después de que Benihim nació.
What's the name of his telecast? This is your day.
Este es tu yom.
Good morning, Holy Spirit. Man, he's a Johnny come lately.
Ruach HaKadosh.
This was their day.
Este era yom de ellos.
This is our day.
Este es nuestro yom.
That's why I'm loose today.
Y es por eso que hoy estoy
I was thinking of
relajado.
preaching in my swimming trunks, but I thought better of it.
Pensé en predicar en mis calzoncillos de nadar, pero lo medité mejor.
I'm very, very laid back today
Estoy muy relajado hoy,
because it's my day.
porque es mi yom.
It's your day.
Es tuyo.
This is your day.
Este es tu yom.
When was Yeshua's day?
¿Cuándo fue el yom de Yahshua? Last week.
Right here.
La semana pasada fue la
When was Yeshua's Shabbat?
19 de Aviv. ¿Y cuándo fue el Shabbat de Yahshua?
The Shabbat of life
Fue el 18 de Aviv, el Shabbat de Chai,
comes in order.
de la vida. Viene en su orden debido.
This is when the first fruit company rested.
Y este es cuando descansaron las primicias.
And starting today,
que
the
fue el
first fruit
25.
company
Y comenzando hoy las primicias, el primer grupo
was
original
discipled by the Lamb,
fue instruido por el Cordero.
and they are no longer defiled with
Y
women.
ya no son contaminados con
And they
mujeres.
follow the Lamb wherever he
Y
goes.
siguen al Cordero a donde quiera que él va.
And when he went bye-bye on Lag
Y
BaOmer,
cuando se fue el Lag
they
Baomer,
packed up their stuff
ellos empacaron sus cosas
and went to the heavenly Mount
y
Zion.
ascendieron al monte Sion.
Go back to verse 1,
Regresemos al verso
and
1
I'll close with
y
this.
cierro con esto.
Look at verse 1.
Veamos el verso 1.
I looked,
Miré
and I saw the Lamb,
y vi al Cordero
standing on the heavenly heart Sion,
que estaba en pie sobre el monte de Sion.
And with
firmamental, y con él
144,000,
144,000
having Abba's name
que tenían el nombre de Abba
written in their foreheads.
escrito en sus frentes.
So, did they follow him?
Así que lo seguían.
Yeah.
Sí.
Where?
¿En dónde?
Mount Zion.
Al monte Sion.
Where?
¿A dónde?
To the heavenly temple.
Where?
Where?
Al templo
To
firmamental.
the heavenly holy hill.
A la ladera o al monte Kadosh del firmamento.
Because that's where the Lamb went.
Porque ese era donde iba el
So
Cordero.
that's where they went.
Así que ahí van ellos, perfeccionados.
So guess what?
Así que, ¿qué creen?
They really don't follow man.
En realidad no siguen al hombre.
This is one group that doesn't follow man.
Este es un grupo que no sigue al hombre.
Because they're with the Lamb.
Porque están con el Cordero.
So that they don't follow man.
Para no seguir al hombre.
The rest of us,
El resto de nosotros
need gifts.
necesitamos dones.
Pastor, oh, another note. This better be a good one. Thank you, sir. Ochikiwa.
Prefiero.
Okay, in Gilead 14, Ben?
Revelación 14.
Okay. In Gilead 14, Benjamin asked a question, which we were going to take anyway. I wonder if the Malach, the angel of verses 6 and 7,
Esta es una pregunta y se pregunta el anciano Benjamín. Me pregunto si el Malach, el mensajero de los versos 6 y 7,
is Hanok.
es Hanok.
Okay, so let's take a look.
Así que veamos.
Well, that'll be the first question.
Esa es la primera pregunta.
Revelation 14:6.
Revelación 14:6.
I saw another Malach fly in the midst of the Shamayim,
Vi a otro Malach volar por el medio de los Shamayim,
having the everlasting Besorah,
teniendo el Besorá, el Evangelio perpetuo,
to proclaim to them that dwell in the Olam,
para predicarlo a los moradores del Olam, de la tierra,
etc., etc.,
y de ahí en fuera,
saying with a loud voice,
diciendo con gran voz,
Fear Yahuwah,
teman a Yahuwah,
give Tiferet to
le
him.
estima a él.
Is that the noise, the overhead projector?
Yes, it is.
That's okay. That sounds wonderful. The hour of his mishpat, etc., has
Porque el
come.
momento de su juicio, Mishpat, ha llegado.
So, in other words, is Hanok the angel
Así que en otras palabras, la pregunta es Hanok el Malach, el mensajero,
with the everlasting Besorah?
con el Evangelio perpetuo?
Very possible.
Es muy posible.
Because when you think about it,
Porque cuando uno lo medita,
before the 144,000 Bikkurim Netzarim,
antes de los 144,000 primicias, ramas primicias,
the real first fruit
la real primicia
was Enoch.
fue Hanok.
Turn
Yes.
that thing off, it's bothering me.
You have
What's
the
wrong? What's
remote.
wrong with it?
I think it's just tired. Oh, this was covering the fan.
Mariamni. You know, when you think about it, Enoch was really the first fruit.
Cuando uno lo medita,
Right?
Enoch en realidad
From the
fue la
earth.
primicia de la tierra.
He was the real, and so he could
Él
be
fue
the
la
angel
primicia. Así que él puede ser el Malach
with the everlasting gospel
con el Evangelio perpetuo
that is there celebrating
que está ahí celebrando
with the first fruit company.
con el grupo de primicias
That's a good point.
original.
Because when you really think about
Pero
it,
cuando uno lo medita en realidad,
Enoch
Hanok
was the first fruit
fue la primer primicia
who escaped death,
que escapó la muerte,
which is what being a first fruit is all about.
que es de lo que
Being
se trata
redeemed
ser
and then
una
escaping
primicia.
death.
Ser redimido y luego escapar la muerte.
That's Revelation
Y
14,
esa es Revelación 14,
6 through 7.
6 a 7.
Excellent.
Excelente.
Huh? Right. But Enoch walked with Yahuwah and Yahuwah took him. Well, they're both alive. They're all alive. They're all redeemed. Yeah. Right. That's true. But they're all living and accepted as first fruits. One didn't die and the rest did die. Right. Right. Well, think about that. The
Los
144,000.
144,000.
One second. The 144,000 were dead, yeah. But the point is they both wind up in the same place, and they both follow the Lamb wherever he goes. So that's the point.
Not all the Bikkurim have to die. No todos
Right.
los Bikkurim tienen que
That's
morir.
true.
The last of the Bikkurim are not going to die.
The last generation
Los últimos
is
de los
changed.
Bikkurim no mueren.
Just
So
like
the
Enoch.
first Aleph and Tau.
That's good.
Yeshua does that. Aleph and Tau.
Beginning and end.
The beginning and then.
That's
and
good.
don't
That's
die.
good. So the
El principio y el fin no
first
mueren.
Bikkurim,
Así que el primer Bikkur,
Enoch,
Hanok,
didn't die.
no murió,
The
fue
last
transformado.
generation
La última generación no va a morir,
will be changed
será
in
transformada
the twinkling,
en
in
un
a
parpadeo de
moment, in
ojos.
the twinkling of an eye.
Yes, what many mistake
See,
for
that's a good
a
point.
rapture.
That's a good point.
Ah, lo que muchos confunden con el rapto.
So
It's a transformation in the heavens, in the sky.
so
Es una
Enoch,
transformación en los
Enoch
cielos.
is so great
Así que Hanok fue tan grande,
that in addition to being the apostle of time and everything else that we know him to be,
además de ser el apóstol del tiempo y todas las otras cosas que lo conocemos, por las que lo conocemos,
in retrospect,
yendo hacia atrás,
with this understanding,
con esta comprensión,
he was actually
él en realidad
plucked off the earth
fue quitado de la tierra
by Yahuwah
por Yahweh, favored,
as a branch,
como una rama
an angel,
favorecida,
an apostle of
un
time.
apóstol del tiempo, un malach.
Excellent.
But Yahshua is the Bikkur of those that had
And
to
then-
die, the martyrs.
And then the last generation,
Pero Yahshua fue el primero de aquellos que tuvieron que morir, los mártires de Yahweh.
like the first layer,
Pero la última generación,
And don't
igual
forget.
como la primer capa como
and don't
Hanok,
forget,
y no se olviden
Enoch
que
was a
Hanok
king,
fue un rey,
a messenger,
un mensajero, he was
an apostle,
apóstol,
and a
magífico
prophet,
y profeta,
just like us.
así como nosotros,
Kings,
reyes,
apostles,
apóstoles,
just like us.
profetas, como nosotros.
You want to say something?
¿Quiere usted decir algo?
Huh? You Enoch?
Yes, he was a virgin husband,
Okay.
not contaminated with others' theology. A
Right.
virgin, spiritual
He was a virgin.
Fue un virgen espiritual.
Absolutely. Okay, but if you're going to comment and ask us to grab the mic, Chris, would you help, please? Thank you. Because this way everybody can participate.
You have to come up here.
So, Sophia, come on up. Just you don't have to be on camera. Just well, actually, it'd be good. Put her on camera. You don't want to be. Go ahead.